Hey YouTube, it's your girl back for a second look at Love and Marriage Huntsville. Welcome and thank you for joining my channel where I talk about all kinds of things entertaining using TV shows and that commentary and getting into some of what I'd like to call breakout rooms where we kind of dive in a little bit deeper. Offer some conversations that we can either spark more deeper conversations to kind of enhance our community or just get into the fun of it all. Using my experience, life experience, of course, and just from my perspective as a viewer. So, Chanita, in this last episode, honey, she was bringing the intelligence game to the table, and I loved her contribution. Since then, I've seen a lot of commentary. One, Dr. Heavenly, I think they call her Elaine in the streets. Dr. Heavenly and Carlos got onto their kind of like Monday recap or Messy Mondays or whatever they call that, and holding Mel accountable for the room assignments and saying that she did that intentionally because those were the people that she didn't like. Just taking a spin on it that was so negative, and I still found myself wondering what else could she have done that wouldn't have been more offensive. So another thing that I saw was Winter from Love and Marriage DC. She had done an interview before, and so she doubled down on that because Mel has been going live kind of, to me, from what it sounds like, and I haven't caught any of her lives, I think that there's a lot of commentary out there and enough people covering it. So I really haven't caught any of her lives, but from what it sounds like to me, Mel is defending herself and she's kind of fed up with the tactics that they use. And I think that she kind of falls for it a little bit sometimes and then is taken aback by the outcome. So it struck a nerve with me that production, i.e., Carlos King, would go this route considering all the history and everything that the show has gone through. And then I also noticed where she said that they were completely disrespectful. And there are some rumblings about Martell Holt and his peace girl thing that I won't even mention her name because I think that there are some spirits and stuff attached to that whole situation. Hi, Linda. Thank you so much for joining. Hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much for joining. I saw that Linda is saying Winter says she's going to drop some tea at the end of this year. And I saw that, and I actually subscribed to her channel because she said that her whatever her NDA or whatever agreement she has, it will expire and she will be free to give it all to us. So, thank you for that. So, getting back to Carlos and his antics, I'm just surprised, and I don't know why I should be surprised, but I'm surprised that he would go this route. And so, listening to Winter talk about how production will designate someone as the person to coordinate the trip. They pay for it all, but there's a person that hosts it and that person handles everything. So she said that, and I saw that in this episode. The setup of it all, I went back and looked at that text message that that Tisha sent to Mel. I'm gonna put it up on the screen here. Nope, that's not the text message. This text message. I went back to this text message. Like I must have rewinded several times to get it where I want it, but I went back to that. I also noticed the look on Mel's face. This look on Mel's face that I put in this picture is the same look that I saw when Martell called her a garden tool on national TV. and she did this goal. Y'all, I study people, not for a living at all, but I love the human experience and I pay a lot of attention. I I just can't even go down that road or y'all gonna get bored and click off my live. But this look on her face is that same look. And I saw that same hurt that made me advocate for her from my perspective. Like, I'm gonna always keep it a buck about Mel. I have a lot of respect for her. Um, and I have a lot of genuine love for her. I also don't always agree with her or some of the actions that she take, but I always have empathy in that space because I recognize that my experience is not her same experience, and her experience is amplified because she's in the public eye and people are coming at her all the time. So I always give her grace, but I have to be honest for my platform and what I'm doing here, because there's always opportunity for us to grow as women, in our roles in our community. And so I use these examples, whether they're good, bad, or indifferent. I think that there's something that we can glean from. So that look was the same look that I saw in this episode when Chanita started saying, you I am communicating to you that this person hurt me and this is what they did to me, and you turn around and you bring that person into my space. And this is the look that Mel's, because at first she was just kind of listening, but when Shanita started speaking on that, her face completely changed. And if I can see it from a viewer's perspective, and these people are in the room with her, for the energy to still stay the same, it was offensive to me. It was offensive to me as a woman. It was offensive to me as a friend, as a sister. I totally agree with Shanita. These folks are not your friends. They are not for you. I can't get it out of my I can't get it out of my mind because we see her as someone that is so strong and that deals with everything in stride, and of course she relies on her faith, and I'm 10 toes down with her on that. um but a lot of times, if you really look at Mel in some of these episodes and things, um you can't miss when they've gotten to her. Although she keeps that same persona, this is the look. And when at the end of the episode, Tisha was standing 10 toes down that you just gonna have to own that. And I'm like, what does she need to own? So I went back and I took a closer look. Um, I went back and I took a closer look. So at the beginning, in the beginning, when they first got to the room, we're gonna get to Neil first because Winter talked about the trip. She talked about setting someone up to be bullied and made to be the bad person, like the whole gang up of it all for I don't want to say for attention because that's not the word that I'm looking for. That is his gauge for a successful show. When someone is beat down and there's so much attacking that you can hardly even understand what's happening on the screen, this is his recipe for a good show. This is him thinking that this is what the viewers want. And even though the ratings and the response has been the exact opposite, he still stayed on that formula. And that is to his detriment, but he still stayed on that formula. The other thing that she talked about was production being the battery in the back, and production kind of pushing things to kind of happen. And so as I rewatched this episode, I saw that. So I'm going to start with Nell. When Nell first got to that villa and she saw that first room, which was her room, she was excited. She was like, oh, this is how we do it. This is how you treat me. I did this in Texas and you giving it back to me. Like, she was so excited. There was absolutely no complaint. She gave Mel kudos at the beginning of that. She was very appreciative, and it changed with the card. Now we saw that when Mel and Chanita and Lauren, I almost forget about Lauren a lot of times because Lauren is so quiet. So Mel, when she said that she was going to go through those rooms and put their cards on the beds, she noticed that Nell's card was missing. And so for Nell to be jumping up and down and screaming and shouting about this name card, that was my first clue that that had to be production setting her up. And I felt bad for her because even when she announced this trip in the previous episode, she said, I know that, we have not been quite getting along, and I'm paraphrasing that, we wanted to do something special to kind of bring us all together. And so she is championing production's intention, not knowing that she is the setup. And that girl don't deserve that. I mean, absolutely nobody does deserve it, but she doesn't deserve it. So Nell was first excited, and then she changed and she stayed on this card thing. She never really let it go. She just resolved to that, she was going to get over it, but she still had a side eye to Mel. And why? If anybody else on this show has a genuine connection to her, it's you. And so it has been brought to light that they get paid by their appearance, like how many times you're seen in an episode, or you have to be seen in the episode to get a check. It doesn't matter if you're recording. So for her and Chris Fletcher to have the successes that they have and to have the business accolades that they have, they don't seem to really need this show. And if they needed this show, it would be to their detriment because it doesn't really pay much. So why are you turning on this lady? Like, why? Why would you even allow production to put you in that space? It's disgusting. The second thing that I noticed was when Tisha and what's her name? Kimmy. And they were outside talking, and Mel had gotten wind that they were unhappy, and she came out to talk to them. She did her best to explain her reasoning for assigning the room assignments the way that they were. I don't know if you guys caught it, but she also offered a solution. She specifically said in that, which is a reason why I shouldn't be disappointed with Carlos, because I know how everybody views him and all of that. I just don't be plugged in that way. But anyway, she specifically said, listen, if you guys really have that big of an issue with the room, I could talk to Chanita and Lauren. They'll be happy to stay in that room. Hell, I'll stay in the room with them. Like, it's really not that serious. Like, they'll move the room. They told her no. This was before Nell even came out there. They told her no, that if that's what you wanted to do, you would have done that in the first place. So, no. So, this girl is supposed to be someone, I'm not even going to use the friend term. I'm just going to say a coworker. And you have an issue that you're complaining about. She tried to fix it, although I didn't feel like she needed to. They got exactly what they deserve. But she tried to fix it. She specifically said that, and they said no. We don't want to do that. Basically, we want to still fight you and make you look like a bad person because you need to be brought down a couple pegs because you think too highly of yourself and everyone else thinks too highly of you. And we don't like that. The deficit is too large. So we're 10 toes down in bringing you down. How foul is that? It's kind of like what I like to call success shaming. And I see that in a lot of communities. I've even had some of my own experiences with it. I've witnessed people doing it. And something that we do and I say we because I'm not going to perceive anyone to be perfect, is we shame someone for their success. The jealousy is so high and it's so nasty that you will go to any lengths, even to lie or literally fight to hold someone accountable for something that they did not do, even when they're trying to be cooperative and make it go away. They specifically told her no. So then why are you still mad? And I didn't catch that in the review um when I was first looking at it, but she specifically said that. So for Carlos and Heavenly to be pushing this narrative about her and this room assignments, and she did it for this and she did it for that, when to me as a viewer it was clear that although it's justified, I'm still going to say that it was justified for whatever reason she had. You you want to make this girl look like the bad person that you guys have it edited in this entire scene where she offered to give them the rooms that they wanted and we would all bunk in this room. And I felt like she meant that because they were there for a good time, not for the drama. They told her no. So um we get to this dinner. Excuse me, I had to mute the mic for a second. I needed to cough. Something got caught in my throat. Anyway, we get to this dinner and Chanita is on the bat phone, bringing in her balance. So Tisha starts in with, "So Mel, why did you say you was bringing your single friends on the trip?" Trying to make it seem like that statement was a bad thing, like she was taking a dig at the married women, which was going to be her first attempt at um which was going to be her first attempt at starting the bully mail train. And I'm going to pause for just a moment. I just want to acknowledge a couple comments. Cuz I'm still kind of learning how to host my lives or whatever. So, Linda Gamble says, "I believe this is the last season of LAMH. It needs to be." It definitely needs to be because now I was watching like, okay, this is going to be some good drama, thinking there's going to be a balance. But now that all this is coming to light, girl, I'm about to check out like I did several seasons ago. Um, she also said Tisha never sent the text to Melody. Tell me where you got that from because I think that she did, and I'm gonna tell you why. And I'm gonna pull it up. But she didn't wait for her the response, and my issue is the timing. So tell me why you say that she never sent it to her. That's a good point. Tisha is the op since season one. She absolutely is because she is jealous of Mel and she success shames her. They don't like the deficit into where we should be, I mean, championing our friends and celebrating when they have their wins because it's so hard for us as black women to get a win in this country anyway. Like, we have to fight 10 times harder, um, show up in spaces where we don't really want to or really feel healthy to. Like, we have to push past so many things. So we should always celebrate whenever there's a win. And they shame her. They want to shame her for her success. So I totally agree with you on that. Jaws D. Hey, Jaws D, you're a new face. Thank you for joining. You think she did not send the text even though she showed she sent it? I think she did because it said deliver. I'm going to get into the text. I'm definitely going to get into it. While I did not hear Melody offer her friends to stay in their room and to switch, she absolutely did. If you go back to before Nell showed up, you can tell when Nell is being really sincere because Mel has mentioned that she kind of she plays into the characters a little bit. the characters that they're supposed to, and she caught a little heat for inviting Sunny. I was glad to see that she said that because I did not like that she invited Sunny. Um, but you can tell when she's being really sincere or when she's kind of playing the game. And in that moment, I don't think she was playing the game. And she offered for them to take that room. Even Chanita, which we did see that when Nell was doing her complaining about this freaking card situation, Shanita came to her and said, "Listen, I can bunk with Lauren in her room. She can have that room if she wants." They told her no. Nell was like, "I'm gonna be happy. She's gonna be happy." Um, so they told her no, but she did say that. Melody did not respond from the way I looked at the message. She did not, and we're gonna get into that. So, now I forgot where I was. Where was I? What was I? What was I? Y'all help me. I'm coming back to it. Oh, we was at the dinner. Okay. So since we're hey Jay. Hey from Jay's View. I'm so glad to see you, girl. Are you off? What you doing? You shooting hooky. Um so okay, so I'm gonna get into the text. So let's pull that up and then we'll go back to the dinner since that is kind of a topic. So I'm gonna pull up this text, right? And child, I was defending this girl. I'm like, they not finna do her like this. So this text, and I was having an issue trying to, let me see, what's this one? I was having an issue trying to convert them because I took screenshots. But I'm gonna see, let me share my screen. I'm gonna do this because I'm gonna show you guys something. Now y'all don't judge me about my desktop and what I got going on back here because I'm into a whole bunch of stuff. But let me see if I can pull the downloads up because I want you guys to see this. And I am going to pull this text message up because I got the whole thing. I must got too much going on. Um, is this the one? Wait a minute. My computer is moving really slow. Just give me a moment. Why is it not? Hold on. Let me try that again. Because I can share the screen and I'm going to show you guys the whole text message here. Y'all know Apple ain't trying to show their tail on me. Why is it not? Maybe I can't. Yeah, I can. Hold on. Okay, this one. So let me show you guys this. Let me pull this up. And I am going to share my screen. I guess I have to give it a minute. So, give me one moment. Share screen, show, see. Window. That's us. Is this where I am? Yep. All right. So I'm going to share this. And let me see if I can make it. All right. So can y'all see that? I blew it up. I may have to share it again. Let me look. Nope. Okay. Hold on. Let me stop and then, because I blew it up. So let me do it one more time and I'm going to show this to you guys. All right. Windows. Okay. So I think that should be showing. Why is it? Oh, because I have that as an overlay. So let me hide that. Okay. So this where you see the blue, that's Tisha, because we see that in the we see that this is Tisha here, right? And that's on March 14th. And then you see that in the white, that's Mel responding. So you see on what I'm showing you, Tisha was doing something at Georgia Tech, and she said, "I hope you can make it." That was February 20th. Mel responds and say, "Hey, I have a speaking engagement out of town this weekend, but y'all have a blast." So if I go back to my overlay here, you see where we pick off on that. We pick up from that. And Tisha says, "Hey Mel, I would like to let you know, Destiny, I hope you're okay with that." That was March 14th. Here's a few reasons why I have an issue with this. Okay. One of them is Martell's birthday is in January. So I think it's January. It may even be February, but I want to say it's in January. And there was all this uproar about old girl Destiny being with her children and that woman, that thing of his, and his child on his birthday and taking those pictures and displaying her children with that woman. That was in either January or February. I also know by this text message that this invite that she gave to Melody, that was in February. So that was after that incident. And Mel responded to her, which let me know that she and Mel were on okay terms and that Tisha knew, because you can't tell me that Tisha don't know all the stuff that be going on in social media around Martell and Melody and their situation. It's just no one's going to make me believe that she doesn't know that, right? As her friend or her colleague or a woman with children that has dealt with the rumors of the infidelity of it all and all of that, if nothing else, she should have had a side eye with Destiny about her posting this lady's kids with this woman, knowing that this woman can't even share her children with the people that love them. That's affecting so many other things. Okay. So probably by the time I get through with this live, I may have smoke for Tisha. I don't intend that, but the way that I'm just kind of outlining everything, definitely not feeling her. And I've tried my best to be neutral. So she did that. She knew that. And so she invited her on this trip. She didn't get a response from her, but she wouldn't have cared if she got a response because she was so okay with it because, of course, production wanted her to bring Destiny. Now, I looked and I saw, I was like, well, when did they actually go on this trip? Like, did she give her enough time to respond or change any plans or anything like that? Like, what is the time frame of her going on this trip? I pulled up Miss True T. Child, I am making a mess in all my stuff. So if you can see this, this was March 21st. And this is from Miss True T's description of her video, where she talks about the ladies are on the trip to wherever they went to. So, given that you have to have your reservations already set, like she wouldn't have changed the reservations to wherever they were staying. Tisha said when she asked Mel about a plus one, and Mel said, "Yeah, you can bring your plus one, but you're going to have to share your bed because I don't have an extra room for them." She said, "Oh, okay, since you put it that way, I ain't gonna worry about it." So I am willing to argue that Mel wasn't even in the mind frame to make an addition or make any extra provisions thinking about Tisha's may or may not be plus one, because Tisha did say that she wasn't gonna bring one. She said that. So this is March 14th in this text message. They're already on the trip March 21st because people are kind of learning what's happening over there. Child, let me get this to something that we can kind of, not have all that confusing stuff. So I even went to see what was Mel doing. Like, Where was she at in this time frame between March 14th and March 21st? And she was promoting her products as usual. She had, I think, like maybe the 18th or the 19th, like if you go back to her page, she had a whole minivan of stuff that she was dropping off at the post office. Um, she had a lot going on in that time. We also know that Mel switched phones. She has a red phone that she used for whatever purpose that she used her red phone for, and then she has another phone that she uses. So essentially, that time was off season time. They weren't filming. I don't think that they were filming. I think that they began filming around the time of this trip or whatever. With all of that being said, she's saying that she knew, but you don't know if she knew. You don't even know if she got that text message, and you really didn't give her time to make any plans about it. So, for Carlos to be championing this thing about these room assignments and all of this drama with this room assignments, and knowing that he had to have put Tisha up to that to invite Destiny, and of course her thirsty self agreed, because I still didn't see a logical reason for her inviting Destiny on this trip other than to exact drama. I just didn't. Let me stop sharing my screen, child, before all my business spill out on this live. It'll just take one button and it's like, oh my goodness, girl, when do you breathe? Um, so that was that piece. And to the look on Mel's face when Chanita asked Tisha the question, because she asked her two important questions. One, she asked her about, they started talking about Trisha and them sitting around at dinner. And Mel had mentioned to Trisha that she had an issue with Sonny. And so they kind of started having that conversation. And they got into the dynamics of friendship in that conversation. And so Shanita asked kind of like a question about, can you can you be in someone's presence and not get along with them? Tisha was like, absolutely, absolutely. Stormy backed her up. Stormy was like, she don't even like me now, and we sitting right here next to each other. So Shanita asked a question. Shanita said, and I'm going to give you her question verbatim. Hold on. Hold on. She said, can you sit at the table with someone and eat with them and not even like them? She asked her just like that. This was after she made the comment about, I define my friends by how you treat me when you don't get your way. That was so huge to me. I totally missed the second part. Child, I took notes. Okay. So she said, can you sit at the table with someone and eat with them and not even like them? Tisha said, yes, I can be cordial with someone and be in their space and don't really care for them. It's called being professional. Shanita immediately went to Mel and said, watch her. This woman just sat here in your face and told you the type of friend that she is. If she can sit and have a meal with someone and not even like that person, that means that she can pretend to be your friend and not give a blip about you. And Mel echoed that. Like the way that Mel echoed it, it made sense to her. Because it's a difference in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, it's a difference in being in a space that everybody's invited to. It's a public event, or that, you're at a dinner party or whatever, and you see someone and, you speak to them. You don't want to make it uncomfortable and that kind of thing. And you also want to maintain, your dignity and your professionalism or your presence as a woman in that space. That's one thing. It's a whole nother thing to sit at someone's dinner table and to share a meal with them, because when you share a meal with someone, that's an intimate kind of setting. And, some barriers come down in that situation. You don't sit and have meals with your enemy. And so, although Tisha explained it like being cordial in a space, it's two totally different things to sit at a table and have a meal with someone and enjoy dinner with someone knowing that you don't like that person. It's snakish behavior for sure. And she whispered that thing right on up out of her. And the way that Chanita asks her questions, you don't know why she's asking the question. It's a completely neutral question. And she immediately reads that person for filth as soon as she gets her answer, and she be spot on. It's another question that she asked her, but I'm gonna acknowledge the comments. Oh, you just got home from getting your hair braided. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Awesome. All right, so okay, Jesse, I'm not really on social media like that, and I did not know Destiny was slimy like that. I understand her still being friends with Martell, as she has known him longer than Mel, I think, but that is foul. I agree with you. And I don't really be on, because it's a lot that goes on social media, right? And I have to kind of keep my space, my energetic space, where I like it to be. So I get my tea from certain commentators depending on the style of their channel. And that's how I can kind of keep myself in the loop. So she's definitely shady. There was a lot of beef in the last time that Destiny was on the show. I mean, she was disrespectful to her mom. She was so angry with Melody, excuse me, because she felt like Melody wasn't supportive of her. And Destiny's problem, if you look back at her episodes, when people have their own aspirations, and this is just yeah, my brother is in the building. He just got some tea for me. So from This is my perspective about Destiny. People have their aspirations and they have their goals. I have mine. Um, I don't think anybody in my close friend circle that we're in the same lanes. We're really not. But when someone doesn't have the knowledge that they really need on their own, and their own drive, or even the connections, they will attach themselves to someone that they see going places and almost try to bully them, and call their friend card to question if they're not pulling them along or opening the same doors, not recognizing that when someone is in their lane and they're trying to hit those goals, that's where their focus is. And it doesn't mean that they're not supportive. If they're not bringing you along, there may not be room for that. But that was her issue with Melody. Melody, it was obvious that she was continuously moving forward despite all the things that were going on. And Destiny was on her back about not being a supportive friend. And their rift started to come out when Melody started showing receipts on how supportive she was with her. Although their business lanes were not the same, she still was very supportive of her. So, and those people, you have to watch them, because we are we are supposed to be supportive, and you don't want to be a draining person on your friend. It's a lot to be running your businesses and trying to build a brand and defending yourself left and right. It's a lot. And so it was off-putting to me to see Destiny's needy attitude, but I just took her as a needy kind of person. As things started to flush out, I picked up her number. Anywho, back to this. So Chanita asked her that question. She said she would not have a problem dining with someone and not liking them, which also translate to she'll take whatever they have to offer. She will use that opportunity to push herself forward, and she doesn't even like or respect that person. Foul. Next question, she said, Okay, so they started talking about with the Sunny situation and the Destiny situation. It started to flush out about the history that Destiny has with this cast. And so Chanita said, no disrespect, if she has so much history with a person, why would you want to invite her? And Tisha said she's a part of the circle. She said she's a part of the circle. And so here was the next question. She said, is your motive to have everybody have a good time? Or is your motive to stand 10 toes down with your friend? Tisha said, my motive is for everybody to have a good time. Like she thought if she used the cute tone that would just kind of give her a pass for the foul way that she's behaving. I blame Miss Wanda for that. She tries to use her cute privilege to get away for people to not pay attention to how she's moving. But Chanita immediately said, you just told this woman, she said, I just met this woman and she done told me several times who she is. And Tisha was like, what do you mean? What you talking about? I didn't say that. That's not, I didn't say that. She said, this lady has said, I am hurt. This is what they did to me. And you go and bring them in my space. You are not my friend. And this is the look that Mel had on her face when Chanita started to speak to all the times this cast has hurt her and how she continues to show up and how they continue to bring people in her space that are triggering in the name of friendship and with expectation for them to be treated with the utmost respect and not sidestep 1 second, not even display how you really feel about how I'm treating, because if you do, I'm coming for your brand. Like that's the space that she has to work in. They do it with Martell. Martell is such a good guy. He's a really good guy. He would never. Oh my goodness. Can you guys get to back together? We miss you. We miss you. Same thing. Same thing. And I saw how much it hurts her. And I really think that she showed up for this trip and fell into Carlos' trap to, plan this trip the Mel Cherie way and show them how to have a nice time and the luxury of it all. Like I really believe that she was 10 toes down for that. And then the destiny equation was the production trick, the missing of the cards, and then the battery and nails back. And Tisha starting that conversation about the married couples versus the single friends, which I didn't really understand that because she was bringing Destiny, and Destiny is very much single. So what are you talking about? And we all know Tisha's not really that bright with all her degrees, and I'm gonna try not to drag this lady because I'm just so annoyed by her presence and what she is willing to do for a piece of a check of a check. I'm gonna try not to, but she's not that bright. And so, why would you even bring that up when you're bringing a single friend? Because that dinner, it was supposed to be a round table to come at Melody for every gripe that they have, whether it's valid or invalid, to put her on the defense and have her to start having to defend herself with these hurtful feelings, as we can see on her face, of what she suppresses in the name of the show, and to keep things going and not see her vision crumble. That's just the way I see it. And I'm not a millimeter at all, but I'm for what's right. And I have a lot of respect for her and I do support her. But I guess the difference for me, I'm really, really not as tuned in as most people. I don't mean not being a millimeter as anything negative. I just mean that I'm just not that much plugged in. Um, it's it just isn't. At the same time, I saw that and I saw why she showed up, and I was so glad for Chanita to be there and buffer it, because it was going to be a round table of attacking this woman. And then we see when they push Mel too far, she come out swinging. They know that about her. And she's not gonna swing fair. She can drag you now. Like Mel can really go to the gutter with you. Um, and I'm not gonna say I don't like seeing her do it because it is very entertaining because she is funny, especially when they tick her off. But it was to attack her. And why? Why? Like, what has she done to deserve any of that? And she literally did say, if you guys have a problem with the room, and it wasn't even a nasty way that she said it. She just specifically said, they'll change it. We'll all go into that same room. It's not that serious if we got to deal with this. She's even trying to hold Nell accountable for her tone later in the episode and the way she got Kimmy all riled up because production also had a battery in her back. And she's holding Nell accountable for her tone, which may have contributed to their almost girl fight. But the producer of this show still get on his platform with all of these things that I have shared that happened, even the piece about the text message and when she got it and did she send it and all of that, knowing just 2 months prior, this woman that you're inviting, if you want to say is your friend, posted a picture of her children on social media with this man's mistress and baby mama that happened on her in their marriage. I can't unsee the formula, and I can't unsee the hate. And I wanted to kind of give this a second look because I missed those two things. I mean, like I missed the details of Chanita's questioning, and I want to see more of her. And I'm glad that she's going to be there for Stormy's episode because Stormy is supposed to be next. But with everything that has been going on and Mel taking her gloves off and then Winter coming in behind her, it's like, this is exactly how it happens. And this bullying stuff is exactly what goes on. They can't really air that episode because it's not going to hit the same. Because now everybody know what's up. And so we know that Stormy is supposed to be blaming Mel's fan base for what she experienced with the lady showing up at her garage or her warehouse or whatever. And Melody is not responsible for how Stormy responded because the issue is that the way that she responded to that visit. And why does she respond so violently if you don't have anything to hide? Why? I mean, she didn't physically put her hands on the lady, like she went off on her. And I wouldn't have expected any charges to come from it, if I'm honest. But I also don't believe that that lady showed up with a whole bunch of orders. Because, child, you could have called her or ordered the stuff online and said, I'll pick it up or whatever. You don't even know if that lady has the product. So I believe with Stormy, if I'm honest, and I'm going to always do my best to do that, I believe that Stormy, her response and how she felt about the unwanted guest was real. And I can't say that I blame her for feeling pounced on, so to speak, or it like them being intrusive. However, comma, she responded in a less than professional way and she was very threatening and she threw out a bunch of insults and a bunch of things that she has to be accounted for. That's not Mel's fault. And when you see stuff like this in the way that they move, her sending this text message to this woman on March 14th, by March 20th, they're already on the trip. So I don't really know when they got there, but you didn't give her enough time to even digest this woman coming on this trip. Like, how can you blame people that go after them? I don't blame them. I can't blame them. Somebody got to try to even the score. And if they feel obligated to do that on behalf of this woman, then I mean, so be it. It's obviously needed because this is all some shady, shady stuff. And I just wanted to do this kind of part too. Chanita was on their neck. And I appreciated her for it because she flushed Tisha out. Mel was promoting her product. She dropped a new scent. She had the scrubs to drop. She was shipping. She was packing. She has 4 children. She is a single parent. She has multiple businesses. And she is preparing to take y'all raggedy asses on this trip. And y'all complaining that you in a bedroom of three, and you complaining that you don't have your car on the bed. It is totally BS. And that little man, that little man over there, that little tap dancing man, he is wrong for that. And he deserves everything that he's getting. Everything. So I just had to come. That is just what I wanted to come and talk to you guys about. Um, and I do believe that she sent that text message to Mel, because there is a previous message in February where she invited Mel to somewhere and Mel graciously declined. She had another engagement that told me that they were in a good space. I know it was a time where she dragged Wanda, excuse me, she dragged Wanda and she mentioned that they were in a good space. So Tisha cannot know that that wasn't going to be a positive thing for her to bring this woman on this trip. But she felt confident in doing that because production was paying for it. And why would they do this to this girl? Like, why? What has she done? And that's kind of like my question. I have two. Tisha left that entire episode by saying Mel is just going to have to own it. What exactly is it that she has to own? Because the room thing has to go out the window because she offered to make a switch and it was declined. So, what else do you have? And two, where exactly is reality TV going? Because I see this same kind of theme going on over there in Basketball Wives LA. Same thing. They're going to hit their peak tonight and maybe be some blows thrown tonight. I'm going to review that and I'm going to review it live. But you kind of see it. And you see it through the rest of them. The difference is that I think that Bravo is trying to get it right and making adjustments where they can. And OWN is not, because Carlos King is who brought reality TV to OWN. So OWN really doesn't have that experience. And Carlos King, his formula, I'll give him that. I'll give him that that's his formula, because he was the one who orchestrated that whole Phaedra dungeon situation with Candy. That was behind him, and that's how he lost his job. And he doesn't know another formula. He calls himself the king of reality TV. And before my energy get where it's going, I recognize it. So I'm not about to drag this man. But that's the only formula that he knows. And he does that because he thinks that that's what we want to see. So I think that it's speaking volumes that that is not what people want to see. Um, but I also think that there is some good fruit here in Mel's, I'm just going to call it Mel's show. I think that there is some good fruit here. These women who do this success shaming, success bullying thing, that can't see their own shortcomings and would rather pull this lady down to the gutter no matter what, even if they lie, cheat, or steal, than to recognize her for her accolades and try to glean from her and move positively. These are women that are in our community. These are women that are in your friend circles. These are women that you may even share the same blood with. So I think that it's important to see it for what it is, and not from a perspective of raging war against it, but it has to change, because I am willing to argue that those type of women, and that's just one type, that that is a majority, and that's unfortunate. And I love that they're bringing it to light, but I want to see it change. So my solution would be, I would love to see Chanita and her manager Dawn. I would have loved for Dawn to be on that trip. But I heard Dawn pack like Monica. So, we don't need her catching no charges over there. And I ain't trying to sling mud towards that lady. I'm just saying she's about that life. But I would love to see these two women, because Shanita is extremely intelligent. She is emotionally intelligent. And I read people off of experience and energy. I can pick you out just like that. Shanita can ask one question and she got your entire motive and will kick you off the table. I like that about her. I'm not going to say that it needs to go, because I don't have a thing either way. I just wish there was a way for Melody to have some type of, because she mentioned OWN as the problem in leadership too. Maybe it's another platform. I don't know. But the lady is on to something. And I think the community can still learn a lot. But Nell, Tisha, and Kimmy do not deserve a check for what they're doing. And I'm just going to put that out there. And I'll just leave that there. So let's see what's in the comments. And shout out to, I won't put his name up here. I thought about that the last time. Like, this is a very public platform. But my brother has joined the chat, and it's always great to see him because, child, he is my baby brother, really my only brother. And there's 4 years in difference of us. I'm the oldest, but this man has the power to shake me with just a look and make me rethink my entire plan. He just has that presence, but he's my best friend and I love him so much. And I'm getting more comfortable with him, coming in the chat. It's like the principal is in the building. So let's get into the comments. Let's see. So, male ex-husband posted a video of his mistress and their child. Okay, so in their divorce, since their divorce, he went back and got the courts to agree to not allow the children to be posted on social media by either one of them. So the way that has been kind of gotten around, like her mom will post them sometimes, just a little bit. Sometimes her brother will post them, but he did that to kind of shut down the smallest baby and her product line. There's a product line for her. I think it's called Sugar Mama. I can't remember. Anyway, he did that because he learned that he couldn't profit from it because even though he's her parent, the other parent is all funded by male. So it's really like a beauty line from her Seventh Avenue beauty platform for children. So that's the agreement. He didn't post the picture because he would be in violation if he had done that. The shady girl, who we talking about? Destiny. I'm terrible with names. She is who posted it. It was his birthday. His birthday was in January. They celebrated his birthday, and the side baby, the side chick, well, I mean, she should be the main chick, but she still hasn't earned that position, which just made me think about something before y'all start checking out. But and Destiny were there. Destiny posted the picture like celebrating his birthday, but what she did was posted this woman's kids online with this mistress, knowing that she couldn't do that on herself. And that was foul. And that was before this February text message that I showed you guys. And it was definitely before this invite on this trip. And Tisha thought that she was worthy to have one of the best rooms in the house. She should have put her in a sleeping bag out there on the beach, if you ask me. But that's what that was about. Okay. Next, I guess Tisha was covering herself. I know I may alone in this, but I want to like Tisha so much, but she makes it hard to like her. And I totally understand that. And I can agree that she was covering herself, or maybe it was something with production. And I respect you for wanting to like her. And I understand why. There isn't very much unpleasantries about her personality except the way she approaches womanhood, and she and Mel's disconnect about the marital stuff of it all. And she has her own plight and her own struggles that some can identify with. And so I totally understand that. And I'm just going to say, if you find out some reasons to kind of stay allied to her, girl, please circle back and let me know and help me out because I ain't feeling it. Jay's View says Destiny posted a video of Mel's kids with the bird. Yes, she did, honey. She did. Hey, Tiambe Fields. I hope I'm saying that right. Thank you. Tisha Lee intentionally provoked a conflict between Destiny and Melody by asking Melody if she had a problem with Destiny. Yeah. And she did. I agree. I agree. Yes, Tisha does some slick stuff. She does. So where do you guys is Sugar Mama? I thought so. I just wasn't quite sure. So where do you guys think that this is going? Because we've seen that the lady, Tisha's mom, was challenging Ariane to damn, I still said her name. I did not want to mention this woman's name. Anyway, that she had challenged her to come forward. The rumor mill is that they've gotten married, that there may even be another baby on the way. No one is really interested, but this is a formula that has gotten buzz up before because the ratings are down. Like the ratings was in the 160 something thousand. It went up to about 250,000 last week, which is an improvement, but still in the dumps. So to me, it seems like they're kind of drumming up that same storyline, and could it be that they're even going to get her on the show because we see that they are willing to do anything to try to get ratings and people to tune in? Now, I'm going to say that if that lady shows up on this show, I'm definitely checking right on back out. I cannot stand for that. I just cannot. But with Wanda coming with all of this drama and this tea that she knows that she got it from somebody and it's piping hot tea and I'm going to give you 24 hours. I thought that that's where they was going, but somebody done shut her down. Could that be on? I don't know, but somebody has shut her down. And I'm curious to see what they're going to come back with this week. Are they going to make some different edits? Are we going to see the Stormy Steele situation? Like, what are they going to come back with this week? And it's obvious to me that there is trouble over there, because I don't think I've ever seen where, shows have just not aired without any notice. Like, I don't even think he knew, or if he did know, he was pretending like he didn't know. And what they did was play old episodes, had people tuning in for what they thought was going to be a new episode, and that's not what it was. And they were actually watching it until the light bulb went off. So I'm loving that Winter is spilling the beans, and I can't unsee it. I can't unsee what I see. And it's obviously that they need to change up their formulas, or people are just not tuning in for it. Um, I love that she's doing that. Her agreement will run out at the end of the year, I believe. So she'll be back to really, really drop some stuff. And I was flabbergasted at the way that Carlos, as the leader of this show, is leading the charge in dragging this woman. And she's really, I mean, she even tried to fix it in the episode and they aired that. So I don't know what his agenda is, but he definitely should not be rewarded for it. And now I understand why so many people say that they're not going to watch anything that he produces. I mean, and I can't disagree with it. I would like to. I would like to. Because I say that he can't give us what people are not displaying, but it's obvious that he's orchestrating some of it. And there isn't even the person that can bring some positivity to the community or a good representation. He's working overtime to kind of make sure that's not seen and that doesn't even come to light. So, you know, I have to agree with the way that people see him, and I didn't want to do that, but I don't have any other way of looking at it. So, anywho, those were the pieces that I wanted to come. Let me just check my notes really quick because I'm running into the Braxtons here. And I had planned to come back later and kind of get into the reality TV stuff, but I've kind of touched on it in this episode, so we'll probably do it at a different time. I want to bring kind of breakout rooms and really have discussions and kind of break this stuff down and give myself time to go back and look and not be on the time clock of trying to get the review out and going live. I want to give myself space, but I also have to be responsible for doing what the algorithm needs me to do to have this channel to be successful. So look out for the breakout rooms. We'll be doing that. I am going to update you guys on what's happening in the over here in Georgia's judicial system, there's some fun stuff happening in the last day of this trial. So I definitely will be back with that. Kind of do like a 3 part, touch on some more topics or whatever. But that's all I have for this second look at Lord Love and Marriage Huntsville. Y'all hold this lady up, because these people are really, you know, they got it out for her. And as we see in this photo, it's hurting her, whether she says it or not. No matter what she presents to us, the look on her face when Chanita was explaining how she's been hurt and what people have done to hurt her, and yet they still bring them in her space. And I definitely tuned in up until their divorce, and I checked out. I've kept up with through some of the, YouTubers and bloggers and that kind of thing, but I honestly have not seen anything that warrants this lady's treatment. And it's unfair and unfortunate. It's unfortunate that it's really not just applicable to her and her human experience with the sister circle, and that I can't be there for. So, yeah. Anyway, shout out to Mel for trying to hold it down. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next Saturday. And Carlos King's slip is showing, and it's more than Nell's boobs out. Tisha and Kimmy's are out, child. They need, anyway. I won't go there. I'm not gonna drag them. I'm just saying. That's all I have. If there are no comments, or if anyone would like for me to drop a link and you come up and give me your thoughts on what you see, or what you've witnessed or whatever, I'm happy to do that. I want this to be a forum where we can just kind of converse. These are my thoughts and how I view things, but I don't profess to be an expert. I have a lot of experience in a lot of areas, and I love people, and I love gleaning from the human experience. It's just what I like. So, but that doesn't mean that I'm an expert. So I'm always open to a different point of view, and to show me something that I may have been missing. Jazz, JSD, girl, if you find some reasons for me to get off Tisha's neck, help me out and circle back and let me know. I did not give us a trivia question. I am doing this promotion. You guys got to get involved. The bonus gift, I'm telling you, you want it. You're gonna be disappointed if you didn't try to get yourself in position for it. But it's gonna be 2 more rounds of it. I'm gonna do 3 rounds. But our trivia for this is, how did Mel try to fix this situation? What did she offer Kimmy and Tisha? There are bonus points awarded for commenting on the live in here, or as you comment and tell me what that is. There are bonus points that will apply to your score, and we'll just keep running it up. It is your girl Duchess. I so appreciate everybody that came through this live. Y'all don't even know how y'all made my heart sing. So I appreciate your support so much. And it is my honor. I am honored to come to you in this space and just give my thoughts so freely, and to be able to share that with this community. I love it, love it, love it. I appreciate you guys so much. And I'll be back later with Basketball Wives. And I may even come back with a live before that. Who knows? Talk to you soon. It's your girl Duchess, and I'm out.